last summer in the four-long at Mill Street, again, part of that US European Tour squad.
Yeah, Caroline, a very, very busy lady, also a new mom. Had a baby this winter. Slowed her down for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
We saw it there. She's the one takes a little look around. Another one coming in with nice big ears, has the ear bonnet on. And this test, you know, it's interesting here. They just have a nice little trot around the arena, which is unique. So they kind of get to ease into this test as she then starts to move around into her lateral work.
And these three-quarter line moves as well, they are a big part of the Olympic test that was used in Tokyo and Paris. And again, counting so that you can be accurate. You don't then have to worry about looking all around with your eye. A lot of the coaches, the dressage coaches, particularly in Paris, they were talking about the number of strides. You're going to go 5 or 6 strides, depending on your horse, out, and then you turn. That is your three-quarter line. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's again, it's kind of like, you know, the letters are there, but they're just invisible. You know the line is there, it's just invisible. And it can get, if you think about it too much, you can end up a little lost out there. So to keep with those numbers is a really great way to do it. Caroline sits so well. You can see she's very centered as she sends. She's the one over to the wall, directing her. She got a really nice cadence, a really nice rhythm here. Up in the balance. Good halt. She's the one looking around, Caroline, waiting for the right moment. You know, again, it's a real feel there is that you want to show immobility, but they can get there long enough. You kind of get the feeling they start to grow roots and you start to look into that media tent. And you don't necessarily want to get them off task for too long. You know, it's an amazing stadium here, and the crowd is actually quite far away. Some of our European events, like where she's been over with this horse before, it's quite an intimate arena where the crowd feels very close. And here it is a bit far away. And I think at times that's very helpful because you can kind of forget that they're out there. But in moments like that, in that halt in the center, when the horses look around and realize, oh my goodness, I'm here alone, that can be a moment that you want to avoid.
So both of Caroline's horses for the five-star, first-time five-star horses, both 10 years old. They're the two youngest horses in the field. So, but also what's incredible then, you go back to the record I was talking about, a four-long, the level immediately below this, podium at Morven in 2023 in the horse's 8-year-old year.
Yeah, and Caroline's been able to do that over and over again. I think she's got a very good read on the type of horse that she likes to ride, and she's known that from a very young age. And they're all different shapes and sizes, but they all have a similar kind of uphill, short-backed, active in their mind, energetic, forward-thinking in their body, and game. And she started them from actually quite a young age. This one probably came to her a little later than most. A lot of them she got as 5-year-olds. And so having that consistency and having the scale, right? When you have that many at that level, you just start operating as opposed to having maybe just one. And these horses start to look to you for the guidance, to the leadership. So they're a very strong, powerful gallop down the long side. And that's, you know, that's a great one to be able to show off, because that's what we're looking for the cross country. These tests are designed to set up the transitions and the aids and the scale and the range they're going to need for Derek's course tomorrow. You know, when you start down at the very lower levels, novice training, preliminary, 1 or 2 gears. These horses need 6. They need 6 gears, maybe 7, to go out on Derek's cross country tomorrow. So that's what they're asking for in this dressage test, is just testing the range and the ease in and out of the range. And normally it correlates. The horses that can ease in and out of these transitions within the gate, from gate to gate, normally are quite rideable on the cross country. So getting a little caught up in a few of these changes. You can tell that as the strength comes through, the changes will as well, but just loses a little rhythm. The gait turns into slightly from a 3-beat to a 4-beat canter. And Caroline is trying to just keep it together. Slightly haunches leading in that half pass. You know, I would say right now the trot work of She's the One is kind of her shining gait. And again, being just a little bit short with a lot of power, she's kind of trying to figure out where to put all that energy, where to put all that intention, and she hasn't figured out how to keep it in the little shape that she actually is. Oh, a nice square finish and a good job to Caroline. Like you said, John, two just 10-year-olds in this 5-star